Hello, this is Miss Dagenford, and I wanted to show you how you're going to work through this lab. This lab is super fun. You should really enjoy it, and it's going to take a little bit of digging. It's a bit of a challenge, guys, and I'm throwing down the challenge. So I want to show you just some basic foundational ideas on how to work through the problems. Now you see the first one. This is mission one. So notice up here, you see the mission one, and for each mission, you can earn leaves, and each mission is going to have three cladograms that you're going to make, three trees that you're going to build. So each tree has two leaves, and these are basically points, if you will. So you're going to start, and just FYI, here's what it looks like when you first start. Mission 1, Mission 2, Mission 3. Now, I want you to get through Mission 3, all three. So in total, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trees that you need to figure out. I'm going to toss out an opportunity for extra credit for doing some of the ones on the bottom. Some of the ones on the bottom are a little bit more challenging. So you don't have to do 4, 5, and 6. You just have to do mission 1, mission 2, and mission 3. So when you click, now do make sure you sign in, when you first get to the home page, you'll see it should look like this. And so you'll start with this home page, and you will want to sign in. And you'll probably see it up here. If I log out, it should then show you what it looks like. So you'll see a login, and just log in through your Google account. So where it says sign in with Google, you can make a PBS account if you'd like, but you don't have to. So what you're going to do to show that you have done it will be to take screenshots. So you're going to click on the Evolution Lab, and so we're going to be building our trees. So let me go back to our other link. So you're going to click on Mission 1, and again, notice there's the red, green, and gecko.
Let's talk tree basics.
Familiar faces. And then Tree of Life. These are the three, and you'll notice in your Google Slides, you will have the top of the slides are going to have the same little snippet that that you have on the page. So you'll notice this says red, green, and gecko. And then you're going to see the same thing, red, green, and gecko. So when you click play, what you're going to get is this gray-green kind of background. And then you've got this area in the middle. Now, this black area in the middle is sticky. If I drag these up, it'll stick. And they make a fun sound. You can keep the sound on. It's kind of fun to hear. And then what you're going to do is puzzle through the connections. And remember from your previous video, what you're looking for is what characteristics do they share. Now, we've made our kind of a blank tree right now, and what we want to do is drag over the little dots, and you could put it into over here, and if this is a proper place, the blue dot will stick. But we got one over here, and in fact, this first tree, they're going to walk you through it. So both species share the trait. Both the gecko and the palm tree have cells with nuclei. And now you will know if it is correct if the dots stick, and I'll show you what happens when they don't. All right, and so now what they're going to show you here is that the magnifying glass is going to be very helpful. So if you click on the magnifying glass, you can click on any organism. And so here's our palm tree, and it's going to tell you over here it has cells with nuclei, it's a photosynthetic autotroph. It uses energy from sunlight. And then it's going to give you a little bit of a blurb with them that might be helpful. And then they give you a little paragraph. Now, you could X out of this, but I find it even super helpful to just click over. And here's our little gecko. Has cells with nuclei. And then notice this is a heterotroph. It is going to eat other organisms. So keep that in mind. So these are very powerful tools. You're going to click on the organism and it'll give you a little information about it. So then we have the mushroom. It has cells with nuclei. Yay. But notice it's heterotrophic. It also consumes other things. It breaks down logs, and it'll tell you all about this in the little blurb here. Now we can X out of this, and what they're going to tell you is to put the mushroom, the fly agaric, into the right position. Now let me show you what happens if you do it incorrectly. The nice thing about this lab, now they all have cells with nuclei. Notice the little blue dot traveled up, and if they all have cells with nuclei, it's going to stick. Now, I know the tree is photosynthetic. Now, you might be telling me, as you're watching this, no, don't do it because the mushroom is not photosynthetic. But I'm doing this to show you what happens when you do things incorrectly. Now, as I sit the pink dot down, what I'm basically saying is that if I put this pink dot in this position, I'm saying that both the palm tree and the mushroom is photosynthetic. Now, we already checked. We know the mushroom isn't, but let me just show you what happens. Okay, so what's going to be really clever about this lab is it is not going to let you move on if you do it incorrectly. So, wonderful. Now, what that means is that we need to move. Now, this is completely movable. You can even move it out here and ponder it, but you can move it over next to the gecko. Okay, so the palm tree is good. The dots stick, and they wouldn't stick if it wasn't correct. Notice over here now we have heterotrophic. And yay. Now, if you did it correctly, it's going to come up with a question. And the way you earn the leaves is to answer the questions and do the trees correctly. So we know that the answer the question, is an animal or a plant more closely related to a fungus? The animal is, and you know because they both share the characteristic of heterotrophic, and they're going to be more closely related than the plant is. And so you click submit, and then you're going to be allowed to go next. And then you've done this one. You're going to go to the familiar place. Now, before I should have done that, I am so sorry. Before you move on, now the good thing is this is why you make an account, because you can always go back to the you'll be able to go back. You don't have to you shouldn't have to restart. I don't think I signed in. That's why. Before you move on, take a screenshot, and then you can go back to your Google slide and insert the screenshot in the right spot. As long as you've kind of logged in, you don't have to kind of go back and redo from step one. But there you go. So take a screenshot and then you can move on. Now, I've already done these, so I can move on to the
Let's talk
slide.
tree basics.
And then just a couple of hints. What I typically find is that students just haphazardly, like, I'm just going to put these in and, and just they put them in without even thinking about it. Be thoughtful about how you put these in. Check the little magnifying glass. Click on the animal. Click on, here's our dog. A dog is an amniote. They are vertebrate and they have bilateral symmetry. Think over what they all have in common. Goldfish is a vertebrate, but notice it does not say an amniote. But it does have bilateral symmetry. Now, you might be thinking, what in the world is an amniote? Well, you can check that out with the information. So, um, let's take a look at the kingfish. And then you'll notice it also is an amniote. And so that is kind of the information you need. And then if you look under the species comparison, well, here's the information about what an amniote is. They all lay eggs. And so you're going to go back. You can use that information now. Oh, the dog and the king snake are both amniotes. And you can work backwards if you want. And so we know they're amniotes. We know the goldfish is not. Now, you do have to be a little careful in terms of where they go, but again, it's pretty easy to maneuver them. And notice the little red ball didn't stick because the goldfish is not. There we go. And so that is your kind of fundamentals of it. Don't forget to check the little magnifying glass. Those are amazingly helpful tools for you. Be thoughtful about this. Don't just haphazardly put everything down. Try to figure out. It's a lot of fun to try to not have any balls that drop. If you hear the dunk sound that shows the ball dropped, obviously it happens. It's happened to me before when I've done this, but it's really fun to try to master it without having any of the balls drop. And I know you can do it. I have faith in you. So try your hand. I will say there are some that are trickier than others. The whale one is very tricky. And for the training trees, the plant one is trickier than you think. Again, look at the magnifying glass. There's your banana. Notice it says produces flowers with petals in multiples of 3. That is going to be very helpful. It's photosynthetic. It produces flowers. There's our lemon tree, onion, radish, seaweed. And then again, you can compare what flowers they have. This one doesn't make flowers. That's going to be helpful. So those are all helpful tools at your disposal. Just remember, before you move on, take a screenshot of your trees. So hope that helps, and happy tree making.